Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Rogue Wave podcast, the frequency for all things pop culture and the disruptors behind it. We talk comics, movies, TV, and pop culture every Wednesday night, 8 p.m. Eastern, right here on Facebook.com/WeAreRogueMatter and YouTube.com/Rogue Matter. You can also find us on Twitch and Twitter. And then once this is complete, this gets churned out into its own audio podcast found where all podcasts can be downloaded. I'm your host, Michael Dolce, as always, joined by the Lord of the Radio himself, Mr. Hassan Godwin. How you doing, sir?
Everything's great.
Do you know what I never actually asked you? I never actually asked you if you ever wanted your real name revealed.
No, you didn't, but I mean...
Like this whole time, I've just basically been like, oh, it's your nickname is the Lord of the Radio. And then I realized, like, maybe you just never wanted people to know who you really were.
Well, if that's the thing, then it's been thoroughly ruined, so I guess we don't have to worry about it.
I mean, and not only ruined, I mean, really just destroyed.
Yeah, for almost 6 years, going on 6 years. So
I mean, just consistently beat into the ground as well. It's really not. There's no.
I'm glad you're laughing about it, though. Did I accidentally out you and just basically give away your name, your identity, and your position there? I'm sorry. Mm-hmm. That's kind of a mess up on my part. Anyway, bygones. Right?
My bad, bro. My bad. From now on, though, here's the thing. Every new, we only have like 6 listeners anyway. So every new listener that we get, we could start today and then they'll never know.
Yes, all they have to do is avoid the couple of hundred archive episodes. And
well, it's like a series of accumulation, right? So like if they start listening, maybe they'll tune in next week and then they'll tune in the week after. And then they'll be like, well, I don't want to listen to all the old content. I only want the new content. You know, so it's like
I mean, I've done everything. Aaron says I thought it was 8 listeners. I've done everything that I could possibly do. I've changed the name on the marquee. I've changed, but no, I still get called out. So I mean, it is what it is.
Yeah. Well, we have a tremendous show tonight with the Lord of the Radio himself, who shall go nameless from here on in.
Right. Good for
starts
me.
Today, it's like a diet, man. The diet starts today.
Yes. Today is the first day of the rest of the show.
By the way, go check out Seal of Fire with a cover by Hassan Godwin, who is not the Lord of the Radio.
No, we don't know who that Hassan Godwin guy is.
See, I'm doing this already.
That guy is awesome, though. He's amazing. More amazing than I am.
Very good artist. But launching today on RogueMatter.com, we have Rogue Matter Presents Data Decoded. That is a podcast with yours truly as the co-host. The gist of the podcast is that she, Deanna McFadder, is a data guru, and I am a pop culture geek. Together, we are Data Decoded. Each episode, Deanna, founder of Nachi, which is a very prestigious data company that works in Hollywood, joins myself to decode the data and technology behind some of your favorite story elements in movies, TV shows, and comic books. One episode already aired last month. This month, or today, I should say, we are decoding The Matrix. On the latest episode, we decode the concept of whether we're living in the Matrix. How close are we to the world of the Matrix, and how do we even know it? Talking about metaverses and all of the AI technology that we have here. So it's a cool podcast. It's actually a short listen. The episodes are 8 to 15 minutes long, and we just decode the one topic. So go check it out on RogueMatter.com. You can download it on our app. We have an app because we're cool, and we have it coming on right after this show is over at 9 p.m. Assuming we finish on time tonight, but we'll see.
Oh, no pressure.
No pressure at all.
No pressure.
We have a great show tonight, though. We really do. They decided to barrage us with content all at once.
Before you called it tremendous, now it's just great. I don't know.
I think it's the same thing. Isn't it a synonym?
All right. I think they're two different adjectives. I think they're two varying degrees of intensity, those adjectives. But okay, fair enough. We won't quibble. We won't quibble over it.
We've got rogue reactions to Obi-Wan Kenobi, Stranger Things 4, and Top Gun Maverick. We've got We unearthed our interview with Paul Reiser. We had done an interview with him a few years ago, right before Stranger Things 2. And believe it or not,
Yeah, we had
all
to
the
hire
content,
an entire archaeological team to unearth that.
yeah, I had to go through my iTunes. It was tough. It was back before Zoom, though. This is pre-Zoom days, so it's an audio interview that we had to put together some video for. It's pretty exciting,
We've
though.
come a long way. We've come a long
But it's
way.
great because it kind of goes into how he became affiliated with the show to begin with. They're talking about 80s nostalgia. The Duffer Brothers gives us a little inside look at the show, which is pretty awesome too. So we got all that. But first, we're gonna start, and we're not even gonna go to break. We're just gonna go right in because it's 5 minutes into the show. There was some news that dropped last night. Joe Quesada up and decided he was done. He was done with Marvel Comics, and this is his official statement. He launched it on Twitter and Instagram and all that fun stuff. He titled it, "And Now for Something Different," May 31st, 2022. Got a sec? I have something I'd like to share with you. When I first jumped into the world of comics, my goal was to create my own character stories and universes. Then one day, Marvel made me an offer that changed the trajectory of my life. But lately, I find myself thinking more and more of my favorite stanza from T.S. Eliot's Little Gidding. We should not cease from exploration, and the end of all our exploring will be to arrive where we started and know the place for the first time. That is why it's both exciting and bittersweet that after discussions with both my family and my family at Marvel, after 2+ decades, hasn't really been that long, the time has come for me to move on. As you can imagine, my love for the company, its characters, and all my coworkers runs deep, but I have an exciting new chapter that's about to begin, so the time feels right. He goes on to thank all of his coworkers, the people in the business. He goes to thank the fans, obviously, and he definitely mentions, though, that he's not done. This doesn't mean you're getting rid of me that easily. I won't ever be too far away, cheering my Marvel family on and contributing from time to time, including something I'm thrilled about for later this year. I also have several insanely cool projects of my own you'll be hearing about in the coming months, including a short indie film I'm writing and directing. Stay tuned. So all in all, it sounds, I mean, it was definitely, abrupt because it was, today. It was posted last night, and his last day is today. So, no going away cake for him, or anything to that extent. But you were very suspicious of this announcement, right?
Look, it seems to smack to me of the fact that this is not an amicable parting. I will not say he was fired.
Yeah,
I won't out and out say that, but it's not. It doesn't seem like it's an amicable part. When a head of a company leaves the company,
yeah,
that puts the company in jeopardy. That's tremendous jeopardy for the company.
yeah.
Public opinion goes down. If the company is public, the stock is, it's gonna bottom up. So usually what happens because this happens all the time, the CFOs and CEOs or whatever, they decide I'm moving on, whatever tremendous personality is at the head of whatever company. I'm decided I'm moving on, blah, blah, blah. Usually if it's an amicable moving on, if it's just I'm going to go pursue new exploitations, I'm going to go build a house on the moon.
Mm-hmm.
They will establish a grace period, a month or so that they could get the new CFO up to snuff or CEO up to snuff.
Mm-hmm.
And so that everybody, the market, to all this stuff has a chance to cool down to the idea of this big shakeup, this industry shakeup.
Yeah.
If he drops a letter on Sunday that, hey, by the way, my last day is Monday, I think that's indicative of something.
Again, that suggests that the company had no awareness that this was happening, right? Is this something where he literally? I mean, is this one of the things where Marvel's finding out on Instagram?
Why would he do that to his Marvel family,
right?
"Quote unquote" Marvel family, if there wasn't some kind of bad blood connected with it?
You know what? I wonder if it's more or less. I think he even says it with his Marvel family. There was internal discussions, so there was some sort of. Now, in the world of sports, this generally means that there was some sort of contract talks, possibly, and they didn't quite go the way either, one party wanted them to. And so, I don't know the status of his contract. I don't know the status of, what his terms were, whether he was looking for a raise and didn't get it. The other thing you could suggest, though, is that one could suggest is that he has some stuff brewing. So it might not necessarily be it might not be as dire a situation in terms of this is a sinking ship. I got to get out of here kind of deal. Like something's going wrong with
Hold
Marvel.
on. I never said any of that
I know you
stuff.
didn't. No, I didn't. I know you didn't. I'm saying that.
Yeah,
I'm
I
saying that
know.
there's.
I would like to go on record saying that
Okay.
I
No,
never
yeah,
said anything like that.
right.
Now the I hear what you're saying, but it's still you're still leaving the company in a lurch. You don't usually do that. That's not usually good business if you've been with a company for 20 years and you're still in good faith with that company.
Yeah.
You don't
Well,
just
that's my
like, hey,
point. Maybe they
tomorrow's
have
my
a plan
last
for
day.
this, though.
Huh?
Maybe they have a plan for this. Maybe they, like I said, maybe they don't have a plan. Maybe it's something that came up in the last, 2 weeks. But it's not necessarily something that they're, obviously they're going to have to, you know, fill his vacancy. But I mean, that being said, it's, uh, you know, the comic book wing of Marvel is not necessarily, I don't want to say it's not as important. It's not the moneymaker for them. It's the studio, obviously. And so perhaps their big thing is that, no one person is going to define them as a company, especially with, Obi-Wan doing so well and Moon Knight doing well from a viewership standpoint. All the money is really in their Disney Plus line right now, and the box office. So the question, of course, is now I am scrolling through their Twitter. There's no mention of, there's no retweet from Joe Quesada. There's no thank you, Joe. There's no nothing. So you could be onto something. I mean, you could be something where something came up from him, from his side of things, that he did kind of just spring on them. Maybe this is something, out of left field. But I feel like some sort of internal discussions had to have been taking place for them.
Well, oh boy. Okay.
That's my opinion on it. Is my point. I'm not. I think they were, unless they're going to announce their next CEO though, or their next editor in chief, immediately.
Here's the thing. I'll say it again. I'm saying it's not. It doesn't. It whatever they've done. It doesn't. It doesn't say amicable to me. That's my point. I'm not saying that no one has discussed this beyond this or that. I've certainly never said that the Marvel was a sinking ship or that it wasn't the money maker.
I never said you did.
I know I'm going on record as to say that I didn't say it, right? So what I'm saying is it doesn't say amicable to me. That's what I've been saying from the beginning.
Yeah.
So yeah, maybe all those other things are possible, and definitely, hopefully, he's going. I'm sure he'll land on his feet. He's been there for 20 years. And he was an industry giant before he became, the head of corporate.
Yeah.
For Marvel, so he'll be fine, and hopefully he's got a lot of great projects coming up.
Yeah.
I'm just
what I was saying before, though, the reason I was bring up the sinking ship argument, because there's usually two ways about it, right? There's two ways of, like when we worked at Wizard, we knew it was like a sinking ship, or at least I knew. Like we saw the writing on the wall. People were getting fired left and right. Things were bad were happening. You kind of had. I know I had a lot of talks with other employees, and we were like, we got to do something. We got to plan our next step here. Or I definitely had a couple discussions with folks, about the condition of the company, right? To where you're planning your next move, you're planning your exit strategy before you get exited. There's that, or I've been at companies before where company was fine. Company's doing well. It was just something, new opportunities came up, better opportunities came up. After 20 years at the same company, there was, there must be a feeling of that too. So I'm leaning that obviously I think it was more for him in that direction. It was more that there's opportunities for him that are coming up that I think he just wants to take advantage of.
Here's where the disconnect keeps coming in.
Yeah.
I'm not speculating as to why he's leaving.
I am.
I know. But I'm not, I'm not speculating as to why he's leaving or what his leaving is for. I'm saying his leaving does not sound amicable. I'm saying the nature of his leaving, the nature of how he's leaving.
That's something fishy's going on behind the scenes.
That's all I'm saying. I'm not saying that he doesn't have anything planned, or that, that this is, it could be, it could be certainly something finally came up that, that broke through that he wanted to do for his whole life, or he wanted to join a movie studio or something like that. And this was his opportunity to make a non-lateral move to someplace else. I'm not saying that that's not what he's doing. I'm just saying it ain't sweet nothings between he and Marvel. In the doing of it.
I think that's fair. I think that's a fair.
It could lead, the answer could be that he was fired.
Yeah.
Now the other answer is that he's just leaving, but I think either way, I think there's no lost love between the two entities. It seems like
it's very possible, because again, I don't see any official statement from Marvel on the fact, and you're right. I mean, it is cut out, a day later. Basically, peace, I'm out. I have a feeling we're going to get some announcements from his camp soon.
There'll be a ton of, and there'll probably be a lot of conflicting reports.
Sure.
As to the nature of this and that. So who knows if we're ever going to get to the bottom of what really is going on. But all I'm saying is,
we'll have to get him on the show.
Yeah, we'll do that.
He won't be
forthcoming with us, but I mean, we'll add to
tough questions.
We'll add to the noise. We'll add to the hysteria.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I think that would be I think you're right. I don't think we will truly know, but we will hear. But I think there are going to be announcements forthcoming from his camp. I feel like there's going to be one of those like, hey, I couldn't talk about it because I was still working at this other company, but now I'm the head of development at such and such production company. I think this is going to be amazing. They're going to make an Ash. Remember Ash?
To DC maybe.
Do you think that would? Ooh.
Maybe, I mean, I'm sure he'll pop up someplace amazing.
See, now that would definitely lend toward your theory if that's what ended up happening. Like the less than amicable parting of ways. I feel like that.
Listen, not a stretch. The conventional wisdom is that head of company leaves companies in the lurch. A lot of bad things happen to the company. The company has to do a lot of things to scramble, to make a lot of shifts and quick decisions. Quick corporate and company decisions in order to stay ahead of the tidal wave of social media backlash and whatever comes down the pike with Wall Street and the stock market and whatever. And then a lot of speculations. A lot of people like us come out of nowhere and say, I think that there's a kaiju in there, and the kaiju is making all the decisions in Marvel from now on. I mean, whatever. So I think if you do it this way and you just cut the head off the snake, which is basically what Joe Quesada did, in a public bloodletting right in front of everybody, that he pulled his golden parachute and jumped at a press conference, I think there's something up.
Yeah. Yeah. I think, I think you could be correct. But we'll wait and see what happens, as the story develops. But I thought that was, pretty bold news to come straight before our podcast. All right. Everyone just decided to put content out now.
Right?
Even Joe Quesada is like, F this. You got 3 things you want to talk about? I'll give you a 4th thing.
Yeah. I'm helping you guys out here. I'm tired.
So when we come back, we are going to react. We reacted to Joe Quesada. We are going to react to all the good content that came out. Obi-Wan, Stranger Things 4, and Top Gun Maverick when we return. Rogue Wave. Hi guys, Mike Dolce here from the Rogue Wave podcast. If you like this video, please feel free to like, share, subscribe, all that fun stuff. It really helps us out. Leave a comment, let us know what you'd like to see in future episodes, and tune in every Wednesday night, 8 p.m. Eastern for a brand new episode of the Rogue Wave podcast.